They're looking to bottle Bud's flavor for victories as he takes to the hill tonight against the Pirates. So, Cardinal fans, sit back, relax, and remember, it is sizzling in downtown St. Louis on this Saturday. There's Joe Beimel, who will be pitching against the Cardinals tonight, and our excellent young left-hander, Bud Smith. Heat index in the Gateway City, 111 today. We've got some cloud cover downtown, but it's still time for the fans to have fans. And a cold one to go as well with it. It's the Cardinals and the Pirates in the second game of the weekend series after Jason Schmidt shut down the Cardinal bats here last night. Bob Carpenter, Al Raboski, Rich Gould with us tonight, and game 2 of the weekend series. And Al, it's another story of a couple of soft-tossing left-handers. We're glad to say one of them is on our side. Bud Smith has been a pitcher, not a thrower so far.
Yeah, that's right. He's a young pitcher, but he has a feel for the game. His best pitch is his changeup. You'll see that how he'll work hitters inside a lot of times early in the count. There he gets a strikeout. But late he goes with the off-speed pitch, particularly that changeup, and has them off balance and looking for something that's not there.
And we hope that Bud joins the ranks of the high-flying Cardinal starters lately. Bank of America takes us inside the numbers, and Al, to a man, except for Mike Matthews, who's now back in the bullpen, the ERAs have been outstanding.
Well, they really have been outstanding, and it just sort of exemplifies the fact that hits have been at a premium. The one we got 2 hits last night, Hermanson pitched well enough that normally when you only make 3 mistakes, you're going to win a ball game, but it wasn't good enough. But I think the offense will be clicking here tonight.
Well, the Pirates had to beat the Cardinals sometime. Maybe last night will be it. When we come back to Busch, Bud's getting ready, and Rich Gould will have a Mike Matheny.
Welcome back. Hot night at Busch Stadium, and what we need is a Cardinals team to get hot. Mike Matheny joins us. Bud Smith on the mound tonight. Mike, give us a little scouting report about a young man who is really going to be a star in this league.
I think whenever you get a young pitcher that can come in and throw 3 different pitches in any count for strikes, he's going to be successful. And especially first time through a lineup when guys haven't seen him before, he's going to have them off guard when he's throwing his changeup at any count. And it's a good changeup, and he's really worked on his breaking ball, and to go along with it with a sneaky fastball. So he's really got composure out there to go along with his stuff, and I think you throw all that together, and you've got the makings of a very good young pitcher.
Do you call a game differently with a rookie?
Well, I know when I have a rookie pitcher out there, we're pretty much going to go with his strengths, and we have a good idea of what the opposing team's weaknesses are with all the preparation we do. Dave Duncan's probably as prepared as any pitching coach in the league, and we have all the stats that we need and the right approach, and go with the pitcher's strength and kind of adjust along the way.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Good game tonight.
Thanks.
Hot night tonight at Busch Stadium. Cards and Pirates coming up. We'll have that for you in just a bit.
Brought to you by Budweiser. With a crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer. This Bud's for you. By AutoZone, the right part, the right price, and good advice. By your local St. Louis Chrysler Jeep dealers, the official automotive sponsor of the Cardinals on WB11. By Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. For tires and complete auto service, all you need is Dobbs. And by Southwest Airlines, celebrating 30 years of freedom. 30 years, one mission, low fares. Some much welcome cloud cover over downtown tonight. And the Pittsburgh Pirates, the second worst hitting team in the National League behind the Mets, featured in our Southwest Airlines starting lineup tonight. A young man they just called up from AAA, Tyke Redmond in center field. A former Cardinal farmhand, Jack Wilson. Jason Kendall struggling this year. This guy is a career .314 batter. Brian Giles, an outstanding cleanup man. Aramis Ramirez, Kevin Young, Adam Heisdu in right, Abraham Nunez at second, and Joe Beimel will throw against the Cardinals tonight. Half of our Chrysler Jeep pitching matchup is the Cardinal left-hander Bud Smith, his 5th game out and his 3rd start.
Yeah, his 3rd start, but his first major league start. You know, that's what a National League would say. There you see his overall numbers. Of course, the National League doesn't accept the fact that his first 2 starts were against American League ball clubs, so this is his first major league start. Used to be the attitude that you had in the All-Star game.
You got that right. Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers with the Cardinal defense tonight. Albert Pujols in right, Craig Paquette against a left-hander. Will play left field. Other than that, the usual infielders lately, Mike Matheny again not in the starting lineup tonight. Eli's done a fine job behind the plate, and the Cardinals start the day a game over the 500 mark, 7 back of the Cubs. We are offering subscriptions to Cardinals Game Day magazine tonight, and you'll receive the Cardinal 2001 yearbook at a special reduced rate. Our operators are waiting for you to ring their phone at 982-7336. Matty Moe, with some momentum, is on the cover this month, so give us a call, 314-982-7336, for the best team publication in baseball, Cardinal Game Day magazine. First pitch, Bud Smith right on time at 7:10, but he throws it up and in, ball 1 to Tyke Redmond.
Might see that Bud Smith will work early in the count with that fastball, and then later in the count he'll try to throw the changeup.
Tyke Redmond with Nashville was the leadoff man and the starter in center field at the AAA All-Star game a week and a half ago. He was hitting right around 300 for the Nashville Sounds, 34 RBIs, 16 steals, and he had 9 triples on the year. This guy can fly. Counts 2-1. 93 degrees at game time tonight.
And Bud Smith also started that All-Star game, right?
In fact, these two were teammates. That was the Pacific Coast League. Nashville and Memphis, both members of the same club. And Bud Smith would have had 2 scoreless innings in that game had his 3rd baseman, Mike Goulin, a former Cardinal farmhand, not let a ground ball go through his leg. Then the next guy homered. And there's the start for the Pirates as Tyke Redmond walks, leading off the game. And you got to watch this guy. He can fly. Now Bud's got a good move to first, being a left-hander. McGuire will hold the rookie. And next up will be another guy with Cardinal connections, Jack Wilson.
See his last game, a no decision against the Minnesota Twins, 7 innings. That's a career high. Only 4 hits allowed. The 2 walks were both intentional passes. So he pitched very well in that game and got a no decision.
Jack Wilson hitting .247. Bud misses up high. How about Jack Wilson? Some of the numbers he put up in the minor leagues for the Cardinals. In '98, he hit .373 at Johnson City. '99, .343 at Peoria before he got the call to Potomac, where he hit .296. And then last year, .277 at Potomac before hitting .294 at AA Arkansas. Then he was traded to the Pirates for Jason Christensen. There's a good one on the outside corner. Mark's got to hold the runner, possibly charge for a bunt. Polanco is on the grass at 3rd.
Even this year, Jack Wilson, who started in the big leagues, then was sent down, hit .369 at AAA.
1-1 the count. Cardinals looking for a grounder. Runner going, and a pop-up. Out to short center. Edmonds is there, and back to first is Redmond. Tyke got a good read on that ball. The Cardinals were trying to fool him into thinking it was on the ground somewhere, but he saw it right in front of him, and no chance for a double play.
It looks like a hit and run just because he doesn't have a real good jump and the ball in the air. That's the last thing you want to do. Edmonds is so good. He plays so shallow. You saw him take his eye off the fly to look to see where the runner is, and really no panic, doesn't have any problem. On behalf of myself and Jim Edmonds, we want to say congratulations and how would you say this? The wedding bliss.
Uh-oh, runner picked off. McGuire's throw high, and runner is safe. Tyke Redmond. And he did, Al, what you really should do if you get picked off like that. He just didn't stop. He kept going, forcing McGuire to make a very good throw, which Mark did not.
If you got good speed and you get picked off, just run as hard as you can, because it takes another throw. And you see if it's high, you can slide right underneath it. And it's a high throw and no time for Vigna to come down with the tag. So you go ahead and push the envelope, and sometimes you push the defense, they will make mistakes.
And a breaking ball low. So you're congratulating someone for getting married.
Well, Chris and Lauren Pronger married almost within the hour.
Well, that's a hearty congratulations. 1 ball, no strikes. Wide open stance by Kendall, who's really had a bad year by his standards, and Bud misses with a changeup, 2-0. Jason Kendall, a .314 career hitter.
Lauren's got a whole bunch of young ladies
Mad
really
at her.
upset, really
Married
upset.
Chris Pronger of the Blues. Here's a 2-0. There's a strike. We know who the enforcer in that family will be.
Yeah, Lauren.
That's right. Well, Jason Kendall, he hit .320 last year. He's always been one of the fastest catchers in baseball. Normally steals between 20 and 30 bases. 2-1 pitch coming. That's a fastball. Bud Smith sneaky fast. That thing looked a lot harder than 87, didn't it?
Well, that's it. When you have a guy out there that just throws with such just calm, he's not very big. You think about the changeup, and that fastball sneaks up on you. So it's sneaky fast.
Kendall will step out, get back in. Jason hitting only .256. Three-time All-Star, most recently last year. And of course, that awful ankle injury he suffered on the 4th of July, '99 against the Brewers that limited him to 78 games that year. The 2-2 from Bud, high and tight, fills the count.
And be careful with that with Jason. He's one of the usually league leaders in being hit by pitches.
Jason Kendall this year hit by 11 pitches, and he's been hit by 115 in his major league career. Goes down and gets a little line drive to Vigna. Fernando's got it. And Vigna was trying a little body English to fool the runner as well. So Redmond at second, 2 outs now.
And see, I think I was almost trying to see if he could, it was worth it to kind of knock it down and see if he could get a double play out of it. But I think it's best to catch that little humpback liner, get the second out.
Brian Giles coming up, the most dangerous Pittsburgh batter. He and Aramis Ramirez turning into a pretty good 1-2 punch in that 4-5 spot. Brian Giles having another good year. This guy's put up some serious numbers for the Pirates. After a curveball, it's a fastball on the inside corner. Brian Giles, 99 in 2000, 74 home runs, and 238 RBIs combined for the Bucks.
Whenever they talk about Bud Smith, they said, well, he's not ready yet. That breaking ball is not good enough. It has surprised me that it's much better than I thought advertised.
Al, you and Dave Duncan. I talked to Dave Tuesday after Bud had thrown in the game here Monday night against Minnesota, and Dave said one of the things that surprised me about Bud Smith last night was how his breaking ball was being thrown for strikes, but not only that, guys were swinging and missing.
And especially when you look at AAA numbers, left-handers hit .295 off it. 31 for 105 with 2 home runs. Here at the major league level, 0 for 11.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Brian Giles, 23 home runs. Outfield is straight away, and a breaking ball misses low and away. That evens the count, 2-2. Some craziness in baseball today. Well, the Rockies have been awful. They're now 14.5 back of Arizona as they give up 22 at Coors Field today, losing to the Dodgers. That was Benny Nagel starting that game. 2-2 to Giles. Swing and a miss on a pitch away. 89 on the fastball. More importantly, 3, as in strike 3. Leadoff walk and a steal. No problem. Cardinals coming up. Well, we've got a first-timer here tonight. That's cool. Hopefully a Cardinal win. And the Redbirds batting .267, 4th in the league in hitting, 9th in runs, 7th in homers. The Southwest Airlines starting lineup with Vigna, Polanco, and Albert Pujols up into the number 3 hole. Then Big Mac and Jim Edmonds, who bats 5th tonight. Greg Paquette with a 5-game hitting streak. Renteria, Marrero, and Bud Smith against the other half of our Chrysler Jeep pitching matchup tonight, 24-year-old Pittsburgh left-hander Joe Beimel.
Now, he's been pitching out of their bullpen, so this is the first time he'll face the Cardinals as a starter. 2 relief appearances against them and 4 1/3 shutout innings. The left-hander that 1 of 3 they have in their rotation that has Lloyd McClendon pretty excited about.
First pitch to Vina. He hits a strike, Campanese. Fernando at 308. He's had a real good couple of weeks out of the All-Star break. His on-base average, 363.
And in 15 of his last 17 games to raise that average to 308.
Here's the 0-1. Blow it inside. Pirate defense brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers will come your way in a moment. And they are the 2nd worst defensive team in the National League. Only the Padres have made more errors. Low ball 2. 81 errors for the Bucks. Padres have made 96.
Bob, you would not believe that statistic and the way they played defense last night.
I know.
I mean, it was incredible. And the guy that made the most good plays, Ramirez at third, was the worst culprit.
Yeah, 17 errors, and he looked like Brooks Robinson last night.
Absolutely.
There's ball 3 inside.
In fact, talking to the Pirate broadcaster, they said, we don't even talk about his errors anymore. They're so frequent. We just try to talk up his RBI total, which leads the team.
3-1 pitch. Fernando takes strike 2. Tim Timmons behind the plate tonight. Terry Kraft at first. The crew chief, longtime American League umpire, Tim McClelland at second. And Bill Miller at third. We have been told by our friends at KPLR there's some weather that could factor in tonight. Here's a 3-2 and a swing and a drive off the glove of Ramirez. Gotta be a hit. And Fernando is aboard, leading off the Cardinal first. As mentioned, not that great defensively of the Pirates with 81 errors. They got a go-getter in center field now in young Tiger Redmond. Jack Wilson, the former Cardinal farmhand at short, and out in his defense, a tough play here for Ramirez.
Well, especially when you're playing in, the ball's hit very, very hard. He tries to go to the backhand, had to take a step there. They said a lot of balls have done this. They have not been ruled as errors, and that correctly is a base hit. That, you know, he'll stop balls, but if he can catch it, boy, he's got a cannon, and that's half his other error total is throwing balls away on routine balls.
Here's Polanco. Cubs have a run in the first at Houston. Kevin Tapperty 8-7 for Chicago tonight. Dave Malicki out of the Houston bullpen. He's 1-0. That's because of the recent struggles of Shane Reynolds and the fact they had to put Scott Ellerton on the DL. There's a swing and a tapper foul. So we probably will see 3 or 4 Houston pitchers work through that game at Enron Field tonight after the Astros beat the Cubs last night to move to within 2 and leave the Cardinals 7 back despite the loss here.
I'm not sure, but I thought I read that that was the 7th straight time that Houston had beaten the Cubs.
Wow. There's a strike, and Tim Timmons has a low strike going tonight. Houston's record against the Central is 24-14, so they're a healthy 10 games over 500. Against the division, they're 5-3 against the Cards after the Redbirds split with them. Those 2 games Wednesday and Thursday. Polanco, a good hitter on 0-2. He needs contact. He gets it up the middle, and it could be 2. Nunez turns the 4-3 double play. Why bother to throw when you can go to the bag yourself?
Polanco bounced that ball up the middle in just a matter of inches. Almost sneaks it through, but the second baseman gets the ball and does the rest himself.
And by the way, in just a few minutes, Al and I will be part of something that'll be fun as we look ahead to the barbecue tomorrow. We're going to conduct an online auction tonight, starting in the top of the 2nd, taking us into the 8th for the use of owner Bill DeWitt's Deluxe Suite for a mutually agreeable date next year.
We're not talking about just any suite. We're talking about the principal owner of the Cardinals' big suite, which holds 24.
Plus soft drinks, beer, wine, and snacks.
Plus a couple complimentary tickets for the barbecue, which is tomorrow.
There's Mr. John Wallace down there, one of the Cardinal owners. And it's 3-0 quickly on Pujols. There's Mr. Brett Hanser and Kathy. And looks like a change-up at the knees. McGuire next. Pujols 0 for his last 8. But he did work for a walk last night with a good AB. 3-1 pitch. It's a drive off the glove of Wilson. Second baseman Nunez throws him out. How about that? 6-4-3. And in the big leagues, you've got to run them all out. Jack Wilson had it deflect off his glove. Nunez, a great play. And the Cardinals are gone in the first. On Tap, brought to you by Budweiser, the crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer. This Bud's for you. Rich, Al, and yours truly, right back here tomorrow, 1 o'clock, Cardinals Bucks. Top of the second, Aramis Ramirez takes a strike. And we open up our auction for the use of owner Bill DeWitt's Deluxe Suite. The Cardinal switchboard number is 314-421-3060. Now, before you dial, we should tell you we do have an opening bid of $1,000 on the use of that box. They'll relay the information to us up here. We'll air it and let you know what the latest bids are. And there's Ramirez with a base hit, starting off the top of the second. AutoZone brings you the Central Division standings. The Cubs lead by 2 over Houston as they get together tonight at Enron Field. Cardinals 5 back to the Astros. And the Brewers on the verge of being out of it. Pirates and the Reds are, with a long way to go. And now, just talking to some of the Houston guys the other night, when they were getting ready for the Wednesday game with the Cardinals, they had approximately 70 games left, and something like 48 of them are against the NL Central. They're a little bit behind the rest of the teams in the division in terms of playing divisional games. So Houston will be a major factor as far as everything goes in this race.
Absolutely. And Bob, they have, with the win last night, they still have 13 remaining games with the Cubs, including the last series of the year.
0-1 to Kevin Young. He taps it out in front of the plate. Bud Smith pounces. Marrero says your play's at first. It is, and it's 1 out. Nicely done by Bud. And down to second base goes Aramis Ramirez.
Well, swinging bunt, but it's good enough to advance the runner. And Bud under control, and you saw where Marrero just pointed his arm, and you knew he was yelling out there, go to first, go to first. Now to make sure you get an out.
By the way, on our auction tonight, which we'll be conducting until the 8th inning, you can use your American Express, Discover, MasterCard, or Visa. The girls are standing by, the pinch hitters, at 421-3060 to take your bid. There's a swing and a foul off to the right by Adam Heisdu, the right fielder. We saw some of Adam last year. He's in an 0 for 11 skid at the moment. He was a non-roster player when the Bucks went to spring training.
On the 4th of July at Cincinnati, his hometown, he hit 2 home runs and 3 RBIs, a 3 for 5 performance. He's been 0 for 11 since then.
Bud Smith with a little pop on that fastball, misses outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
This is a young man that came from the same high school as Ken Griffey Jr. and broke all of Griffey's home run records. It had to be a thrill playing at Synergy Field on the 4th of July and hitting a pair of home runs, but it put him in a slump.
It happens. Breaking ball low and he couldn't get it. Well, we've talked about this with Renteria after setting a Cardinal shortstop home run record last year. I remember when Royce Clayton was here, Al, we were constantly hoping that Royce would try to hit the ball the other way and not try to jerk everything. You guys were talking about it on the air last night. What can happen to a guy after he hits a bunch of home runs? 1-2 pitch. It's on the inside corner, and Adam Heisdu strikes out. We've got a real celebrity in the ballpark tonight. That's Rich Gould. Hey, Rich, who's that guy with you? We know him, too.
Believe me, I'm not the celebrity. Right here to my left, Hollywood, one of the great guys of all time, Rob Reiner, who loves his baseball, don't you, Rob?
I do, and I'm happy to be one of the great guys of all time. That's a very nice thing to say to somebody.
Well, good. I didn't want to offend you in your first trip to Busch Stadium.
We're having a ball here. This is my son Jake over here. Good. And we're on a trip with some friends. We go every year to a number of ballparks. We go from one ballpark to the next. We see maybe 4 or 5 games on a trip. This trip we started with San Diego, and yesterday we were in Kansas City. Here we're in St. Louis today, and tomorrow we go to Chicago.
Your pal Billy Crystal made a baseball movie recently, 61. I thought it was one of the great things I've ever seen. How about you?
Yeah, no, it was a terrific film. It brought back great memories, and both of the guys that played Maris and Mantle I thought were terrific.
When you grew up, who did you root for?
I was a big New York Giant fan. I was born and raised in the Bronx, and Willie Mays was.
And we got it. It's coming right now. Throw is a little short. Runner at home is safe. They've got him hung up and tagged out. So that's the end of the inning. We'll hopefully come back with Rob Reiner in just a moment. It is 1-0 Pittsburgh. Top of the second. The Cardinals coming up. So pleased to talk to you, and we're going to get you.
Okay.
Bottom of the second, 1-0 Pittsburgh. Mark McGwire coming up, and Rob Reiner was about to tell me a story about Mark McGwire in Dodger Stadium.
Yeah, well, last year when he came to visit, we came early and got to meet him, and we watched him hit batting practice. He literally hit 10 home runs, 10 balls out of the park, but 5 of them literally physically left the stadium. I've never seen balls hit like that in my life.
And that's where you park cars on those levels. Everybody was trying to scurry to get out of the way.
A lot of cars got hit by balls that day.
The passing of Carroll O'Connor, of course, saddened us all. What a fine gentleman to work with, to be friends with, right?
He was a great man. He taught me a lot about acting and about making films and how to put a show together, and I miss him terribly.
What a childhood you must have had with your father, with Sid Caesar, Imogene Coca, and all the great stars that certainly hung around your home.
Yes, there were a lot of funny people in my household growing up. I didn't know until I got out to other people. Oh, there we go. I think it's out of here.
You're calling it.
No, he's got it. He's under it. All right.
Rob absolutely knew. He said all you do is watch the outfielders. Anyway, back to your father and his greatness, not only as a writer, as a director, the jerk, so many things.
Yes, he's not, but the most important thing is he's a great guy. He's a great father, and I learned a tremendous lot from him.
What do you have cooking now in Hollywood?
Well, I've got a couple of films that I'm trying to put into that are in development now. Hopefully by the end of the year I'll be doing another film. I've been working with young children for the last 3 years in government and helping young children with health care and quality child care and preschool education. That's been my focus for the last 3 years, but now I'm trying to get back in and make another film.
As you watch baseball here and at Dodger Stadium, the thing that jumps out at me, having been to both ballparks, is it's just a little warmer here.
A tad bit warmer.
Edmonds bouncing ball picked up by Young. Rob, so nice of you to chat with us. We do appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
My pleasure.
Bob, I'm going to try to get him up to the booth so he can call some play-by-play, but he's with you. Tell Hungo. Hungo wants, by the way, Al Rabosky wants a signed ball. Is that all right?
That's no problem.
We'll get one for you up there, Al.
Hey, Rich, will he sign mine, Meathead?
He might sign yours, Meathead, if we ask him nicely, Bob.
All right. Rob Reiner, his dad Carl, one of the funniest men on the planet. Bases empty, 2 outs, bottom of the second, and Paquette, the Cardinal batter. And Craig flies to center on the first pitch. He goes up hacking more often than not, and it's thus a brief bottom of the second for Joe Beimel of the Pirates. Cardinals have 1 hit. Pirates have 1 run. Well, tomorrow, Cardinals-Pirates, Cole's Family Fun Day here. First 20,000 women, 16 and over with a paid admission, receive a Cole's Markdown card. It's good for a $10 off purchase incentive, and 5 lucky fans will get one for $200. That'll be Family Fun Day tomorrow when the Cards and the Pirates get together. Can't make it down. We'll have the action for you here on WB11 and the Cardinal Television Network. Strike 1 to Joe Beimel, who's 4 for 14 with the bat this year. 1 ball, 1 strike. Polanco even with the bag at third. The Bucks lead 1-0 on the Abraham Nunez base hit. And a bouncer out to short. Edgar's got it on a couple of hops near the bag, throws out Beimel. Things are heating up on Friends when the radiator breaks in Monica and Rachel's apartment. Phoebe searches for her biological father on Friends Sunday night at 10 on WB11. That's what I call a divergent plot. And we go top of the order for Tyke Redmond of the Bucks. He walked and stole a base first time up. Jack Wilson next. Hey folks, don't forget, we're still auctioning off the use of owner Bill DeWitt's deluxe suite for a date next year that you and the Cardinal owner agree on. 24 people, food and drink. We have an opening bid of $1,000. Al, if I remember correctly, and there's strike one, I think we raised around $3,500, maybe more, with a similar auction last year.
Oh, but that was on radio. Our TV audience is so much more sophisticated.
And affluent. Here's the 0-1. It's a little bit inside, 1-1. 24 people. You could take the whole block.
See, we gotta better those radio people. You know, I mean, TVs are more expensive, so everything's more pricey on this side.
Okay. There's a high fly left center. Who wants it? It'll be Paquette as the ball goes slicing back to him for the second out. Yeah, but we don't get to work with Jim Jackson on TV. He just saw himself on television. Mike Shannon pointed that out, I'm sure. He knows we're talking about him, but he does have no idea what we're saying. Mike's back, Jack's back. Everything's back to normal over on AM 1120.
I'll tell you one thing, those guys go on vacation and the whole world starts worrying about it.
Breaking ball low to Jack Wilson.
Mike was up in Alaska doing a little fishing. Jack went on a little private yacht for a little cruise, and then came back with a cold, and so sat out a couple extra days. But the best are back.
1 ball, 1 strike. That they are. That's about 80 years in that booth, the two of them together combined. 1-1 to Jack Wilson, who flied to Edmonds his first time, and this one out of play. And you've got a couple of young pitchers tonight who are not standing around on the mound trying to figure out what they're doing next. They have an approach. They work fast. They throw strikes. And so far, young Joe Beimel and young Bud Smith looking pretty good.
Yeah, they both have an idea what they want to do, how they want to go attack hitters. It's worth mentioning again, Jack Wilson, Lloyd McClendon loves him. He had to send him down the first time. Going to go a fastball in. And you know, his first stint at the major leagues earlier this year, he said, hey, Jack, you're going to be back. And so this young shortstop that Bud is facing got sent out on a Saturday night, drove 10+ hours to AAA stop, and was in the lineup the next afternoon. AAA coach called Pittsburgh and said, well, what do you want us to do with Jack Wilson? He goes, well, when he gets there, you know, you can go ahead and see if he needs a day off or something, get his mind straight, but then put him in there. They said, well, he's already here. I said, what do you mean? He just left here.
Ground ball deep short. Edgar, it came up on him. He hops it, and it gets away from McGuire and then goes into the Cardinal dugout. Mark got caught in between as Renteria threw it on a hop to him, kind of a long hop, and McGuire couldn't knock it down, so it will go as a hit and an error on Renteria.
Yeah, deep in the hole, and Jack Wilson running hard all the way, show you how to do it. So Renteria tries to get over the top. It short arms the dirt area, and you know, it gets by McGuire. It's one of those times where, you know, Mark was kind of backing up. Mark has actually looked more awkward at first base, fielding his position, than he now recently in the batter's box.
There's a high drive from Jason Kendall. Paquette watching it. It comes down, and it's caught at the yellow line by Craig Paquette. It took him a while to get back there. It took a while for it to come down. You'll see it more than this, folks. A home run saving catch.
Well, welcome back to St. Louis as Pittsburgh is taking a 1-0 lead, and Boy, we really are happy that it's only one lefty. High towering drive off the bat of Kendall, and look at Paquette. Goes back, reaches over the yellow line, and brings the ball back in. So he had the time to kind of drift back, to time his leap and his jump. Look at the concentration and get up and over, and that is a nice play at a crucial time in an early ball game.
Craig Paquette, generally known defensively as being better on the infield than he is in the outfield, but he looked like a superstar there. So what a lift for the Cardinals, and here's Renteria. He goes up pumping and misses the breaking ball, strike one. Edgar at 237. Cardinals have set the minimum 6 batters to the plate so far, because after Vina led off with a hit, Polanco hit into the 4-3 double play, and then the Cardinals went in order in the second. We have a bid of $1,500 now on our TV auction for the use of owner Bill DeWitt's Deluxe Suite, and we'll give you the Bomberito leaderboard. There's a changeup, and Renteria way out ahead of it, grounds out to Wilson, the shortstop. Now only 7 the minimum faced by Joe Beimel.
There's our good buddy Ed Summerfield, and we're going to be the first to start. We're going to have an auction to get Ed back. I want Ed to be our chef in the media lunchroom. We need him elsewhere in the stadium. It's just not the same without old Mr. Ed. There's
Ed working hard up there. Down the right field corner.
He would have fit in that Rob Reiner show, wouldn't he?
1-0 to Eli, who's batting .278. He shows bunt, draws in Ramirez from third, and takes what looked like ball 2, and it is. Bud Smith, the catcher, rather the pitcher on deck with the catcher up there. So we have a bid of $1,500 now in our TV auction for the use of owner Bill DeWitt's Deluxe Suite. Call 421-3060. We'll take your bid. Here's a 2-0. Eli taking all the way, and it's right down the middle. What's happening in Houston? Astros just got a run in the bottom of the second. They're still batting, and it's 1-1. Cubs and the Astros.
1,500 to steal.
It'll heat up, Al. 2-1, and Eli goes left side. Another play by Ramirez. Bounces it out on a good pick by Kevin Young. Ramos Ramirez, not the greatest throw, but he got rid of it hurriedly, and that gave Kevin Young time to figure out his play at the other end.
Well, Kevin made a sensational stretch on a similar play, but here he goes to his left to dive from his knees. He made the play again last night, but look at that stretch by Kevin Young. So a sweet play at both ends. You know, the one thing is about these Pirates, played excellent defense last night. They got a well-pitched game from their starter. They're getting the same here today. He's throwing strikes, and they're on their toes.
That's right. 1-0 to Bud Smith, and Bud swings and misses. Bud had his first major league hit the other night. He's 1 for 4. That was a base hit up the middle in the 5th inning against Adam Johnson, the Minnesota rookie pitcher. Now it's 1-2.
Roughed up this afternoon by Seattle.
Twins lost again, 6-3. They've lost 6 of their last 7. There's a swing and a miss. Cleveland won their game now, so they're only 2 back of the Twins in the other Central. Houston 2 back of the Cubs. They're tied 1-1 at Enron Field, and with some good Pirate defense, the Cardinals trail 1-0 here. This portion of Cardinal baseball on WB11 is brought to you by Steak and Shake, famous for steak burgers, and by Hyundai dealers, where driving is believing. Test drive one of your local Hyundai dealer this weekend. Well, that young lady studying the action here is Kate McLaughlin. Her dad Tom is one of our outstanding producer director guys here on our Bud Sports crew. Hi, Kate. And got a nice note from John Vooch of the Cardinals minor league department. His little guy Jack has a 7th birthday today. So, Jack, happy 7th. Your dad's a good man. Thanks for the note. Great day to have a birthday on July 21st. Maybe a Cardinal win. Right now it's the Bucks 1-0. We move to the 4th, and the ball upstairs to Brian Giles.
Cardinals are going to have a lot of games with these Pirates left, and so you can't take them lightly.
And a breaking ball high. Giles, Ramirez, and Young. These are 3 of their most dangerous batters right here.
Mentioned now Houston and Cubs will be playing each other that final weekend. We're going to be playing the Pirates right here.
There's a drive to left and a base hit on a hop to Paquette. So the Pirates, with their 4th hit of the night, this will be the 3rd time in 4 innings they've had their leadoff man aboard.
Go out there and get that pitch out away from him, and big power guy, but decided, hey, it's all right to be on base with a single at times too.
I like the way Brian Giles plays this game. He's only 5'10", but he's strong at 205, and he's had a great 3 years in a row as a Pirate.
One more of those great Cleveland guys that just didn't have playing time yet.
Right. There's a pop-up on the first pitch from Aramis Ramirez, and a gentleman with a glove right below us makes a very fine play in row 1 of the loge boxes, which I think are just about the best seats in this ballpark.
They are some great seats.
Right at the top of those field boxes, a little elevation. And the 0-1 about Ramirez, and it's up and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. There's our PA announcer, John Hewlett. The Post had a nice story on John. So that's what he does in between announcing batters. He's eating food, and he's talking to Ernie Hayes. They work in the same room over there. Can you imagine, Al, spending 3 hours 81 times a year with Ernie Hayes?
No, I cannot.
I cannot imagine what that is like.
2 different languages.
Yeah. Johnny's Mr. Rock and Roll, and Ernie is Mr. well, any kind of music, anytime.
And the fact that Ernie Hayes was quite upset when they started putting modern music.
Yeah, he didn't like that too much. But they've learned to coexist very well.
Coexist.
The 1-2 delivery. Swinging a drive, hooking, just foul into the corner. John Hewlett, of course, the king of middays on KC 95, the rock and roll station that most of us around here grew up with.
That's Bill Miller, not the St. Louis and Bill Miller.
Nope.
The Cubs player, but I guess he's not due back until August.
And a lot of people thought the Cubs would go out and get Vinny Castilla, but instead it was the Astros who got Castilla. And as we saw down at Enron Field this week, he's producing pretty well. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Aramis Ramirez, who singled and scored the Bucks' only run back in the 2nd. This guy's got a live bat. And is a little bit outside. Ramirez, a .235 hitter for 72 at bats 3 years ago, 179 and only 18 ABs 2 years ago, and then he got 254 with the Bucks last year and hit almost 260 with 35 RBIs. The 2-2 pitch is a little pop fly. Doesn't look like anybody will get there, and it falls a couple of feet foul. Aramis Ramirez is from Santo Domingo, and he did something as a kid that I haven't heard too many guys from down there doing. He played a lot more basketball than he did baseball as a youngster in the Dominican.
Remember Tomasio Garcia?
Tomasio Garcia, yeah.
He was a soccer legend. And got to be a pretty good athlete to do that. They were kind of looking at that time, because of his speed, they thought maybe they could turn him into a baseball player, and he had a very nice career.
Aramis Ramirez. Cardinals would love a ground ball at somebody right here. Runner on, nobody out. A little bit outside, ball 3.
when he's got a head in the count, and he'll try and get them to go after that changeup. But sometimes you negate your advantage and end up running it full.
3-2. Astros settled for a run in the bottom of the second.
See if Giles doesn't run.
Now he does, and a pop-up out behind second. Vina with his back to the infield looks at Edmonds, and Jim's there to grab it for the first out. You could be the Southwest Airlines family of the game. Lots of fun, lots of prizes. Fred Bird will hang out with you for a while at the Southwest Airlines family box up there beyond first base. Send your name, address, and phone number to Southwest Airlines family of the game, P.O. 771192. And the zip is 63177. Good luck. You'll have a great time and maybe win some fabulous prizes. Our latest bid is $2,000 on our television auction tonight for Bill DeWitt's Deluxe Suite and a couple of tickets to the barbecue tonight. Runner going, a drive into the right field corner, and that should score a run. Kevin Young to hit, Giles around third. He will score without a play, and the Pirates lead 2-0. Lloyd McClendon starting that runner, and a perfect time to do it on Kevin Young's 36th RBI.
These Pirates are coming out here and playing very aggressive baseball. They've got some hitters. Look at this. Hit and run, and it's probably a pitch that you would not swing at unless the hit and run was on, and you're protecting the base runner. Shoots it to the right field corner and trades places. Well, no, Giles was on first, came all the way around.
Well, he was almost at second by the time that ball was hit.
Yep.
He was going with the pitch. Here's Adam Heisdu as we're at the 8 o'clock hour here in St. Louis. Bud Smith ready for the first one. Struck out this batter first time up. And you're watching Cardinal baseball on KPLR TV St. Louis, WB11, flagship station of our wonderful large Cardinal television network. Bob Carpenter, Al Raboski, and Rich Gould from the ballpark. It was 93 at game time tonight. Breeze blowing to the left field corner. And an inside target for the 0-1. Little number just past the mound. And here's Vina with those quick hands for the second out. Kevin Young advances to third base. Next up, it'll be Bud Smith and the switch hitter, Abraham Nunez. That went a little further than most little numbers. Most of them just kind of die within 30 feet of home plate or foul territory. And now you've got the number 8 man up there with the pitcher on deck, Al. So what's the strategy here in terms of facing Nunez?
Well, Nunez is the kind of guy that you really should, get out. But you could take the safety approach. Tony could order the intentional pass, pitch to the pitcher, or if he falls behind in the count sufficiently, or you go right after him.
Well, sometimes the first pitch determines what direction the at-bat will take, and Bud's ahead.
Bob, most of the time, if you're good enough to be a starting pitcher, you should be very good to dominate that 8th place hitter. Even though the 8th place hitter in a National League lineup is a very important spot, you still, if you're good enough to be in that rotation, you should dominate that spot.
This hitter good enough to get a base hit for an RBI last time up. Pirates lead 2-0. Bud nibbling at the outside corner, just missed. That was his changeup. 78 miles an hour on the gun here at the ballpark on the Edwards Jones sign down there. And the count's 2-1. That one is down the middle, and that evens things up. Abraham Nunez, 18 RBIs. He's a switch hitter. And he is better from the right side, around 290, than he is from the left side, around 250.
Here's a situation now. He should not see a pitch a strike. There he tried to elevate a fastball. Now you throw that changeup down and away, and if you're walking, you're walking. But you try to get him to expand his strike zone and get himself out as much as you throwing a pitch. But you don't throw a pitch down the heart of the plate. Did he offer? Yes, he did, says Terry Kraft down at first base.
So the Cards get the call. That'll force the pitcher to lead off next inning. And the Cardinals need to get some offense going. 2 hits last night, 1 hit tonight. Top of the order coming up. It's time for some action here offensively for the Cards. We've got trivia for you. It's our Suntrup Automotive family trivia question of the night. Let's go back to 74, June the 4th. Rangers and the Indians at Old Municipal Stadium on the lakefront. Was it bad Lake Erie water?
No.
Was the lake on fire that night, Al?
Oh, I know what it was.
They've had all kind of chemical problems there. But it was a mealy. They had a mealy there, Al.
It's nickel beer night, not 10-cent nickel beer night.
Now that would be a mealy.
Oh, yeah. Can you imagine that? I mean, both teams were scared to death. Let's have about 7-8 innings of nickel beer night.
Here's Fernando Vina, who has the Cardinals' only hit. Inside, ball 2. I can't believe they had a melee that night. We're going to look that up. What exactly does melee mean? Or is it a melee? Here's a 2-0. There's a strike. In France, it's a melee.
Do you remember when at the Astrodome they used to have Friday night Homer nights, and they had a light out in right field? They would designate a visiting player, and if he struck out where that light was lit, it would be free beer for the rest of the night.
Wow. And
one night the Cardinals were there. J.R. Richards was pitching.
Oh my. Mr. Strikeout.
And they designated Kenny Weeks. On three occasions the umpires would not let J.R. throw a pitch. It was 2 strikes.
And a bounce at a second. Nunez will throw out his counterpart Vina, and that is 9 in a row for Joe Beimel. Use your MasterCard, see the Cardinals for less. Go to the Cardinal website, stlcardinals.com, or call the Cardinal charge line when it's open, 421-2400. You can ask for the MasterCard Grand Slam ticket pack. It's a really good deal on Cardinal tickets. Hey, don't forget the Cardinals also have a special deal for that Twilight doubleheader on August 3rd when they make up the game with the Marlins. You can get some upper deck terrace reserve seats at a good discount, a hot dog and a soda. Call the Cardinal charge line Monday morning and find out all about it. You get 2 for the price of 1 that night.
We need some hits that way.
Polanco with a flare to right center, but it's hanging up, and they almost run into each other. Losing his hat is Tyke Redmond, and the center fielder has the ball in his glove, as he should.
The center fielder takes charge, and Adam Heizu, the right fielder, not playing a lot, and you know he's trying to get his playing time, and he saw his glove after Redmond catches it. Watch the right fielder's glove is the one that hits him in the face and ends up taking his pad off.
And that's the original definition of getting decapitated. That's when the right fielder takes your cap off with your glove. Adam looking in there to see if he has any fragments. He was worried about his laces. Yeah. I tell you what, those laces, he's lucky Tyke Redmond didn't take one of those things in the eye. So a little anxious moment in the outfield for the Bucks. But things are pretty relaxed on the mound with their young pitcher, Joe Beimel. 10 straight Cardinals. He faces Pujols, who lined out first time. A line drive that Jack Wilson let go off his glove. Albert didn't run the ball out, and after it deflected to Nunez, he was thrown out by a wide margin. The count's 2-1 on the Cardinal right fielder, and he takes it inside, ball 3. How nice would a walk would be in front of Big Mac, who would represent the tying run.
Cardinals got 2 hits last night, scored 1 run, which came in on a wild pitch.
Right to.
Well, I don't know what you're looking for there. 3-1 count, and it's a 85-mile-an-hour pitch over the middle of the plate and up a little bit.
Yeah, now he'll probably try to trick you on 3-2. Albert fouls it straight back. Had a pretty good rip on a pitch that was up a little bit away. Pujols with 23 homers, 72 RBIs, but again, he's in a little bit of a funk at 0 for 9. We were shaking our heads a little bit in Houston on Thursday when he tried to bunt. 3-2 pitch. What will he do with it? He will get a base hit to left field. Pujols got the end of the bat on it, flared it into left, and the Cardinals have their second base hit, and a perfect time for it with Mark McGwire walking in.
It's a changeup on 3-2 pitch, and makes him very good is that he can hit, has that plate head coverage, not jumping out on pitches, waiting back.
Well, the Cardinals are now even with all of last night with their second hit. Maybe Big Mac gets the third one and ties this thing up. He's hit 12, driven in 29, and batting just under 200 on the outside corner. He didn't like the call. He says, that's okay, just don't call me out now on that ball under my hands. Tim Timmons behind the plate tonight. Young umpiring crew other than Tim McClellan at second base. The 0-1 to Mack. A drive foul outside third. And if I'm Tim McClellan, I don't like it a whole lot when the guy gets on base with 2 outs and Mark McGwire coming up. The second base umpire is only about 100 feet from home plate, and that's a dangerous place to be up the middle.
That's all worrying about the umpires. Never worry about that pitcher who releases the ball and standing 55 feet.
Well, if he makes a good pitch, though. But sometimes I know what you're saying. You have no control over what happens. Mark McGwire called out, and that pitch is up and in after strike one was low on the outside corner. And that's what Mark's saying. He's saying, hey, you can't give him both sides of the plate, and McGwire has been tossed out of the game. Al, you could feel it coming because he rung him up on a pitch away, and then he struck him out on a pitch on the inner half. Mark McGwire gone. We'll take it apart for you when we come back. Cardinals still trail. Tim Timmons, one of the younger umpires in the league, throws out Mark McGwire. And Al, here's strike one, the pitch I talked about, called low and away for a strike. Well, then strike three.
Yeah, and you said it, Bob. You cannot, physically as a hitter, protect both sides of the plate. So he gives the one down and away. Now he gives the one inside.
That's not good right
Mark
there.
McGwire just takes the bat and helmet up and says, well, I can't hit with your strike zone. Why don't you go ahead and hit? So he throws him out.
Joe Beimel leads off for the Pirates now in the top of the 5th inning. Ball one outside. There's Bobby Bonilla, who now plays first base for the Cards. And Rich, what's going on in Suite 62?
We are down the left field line. The gentlemen here, as they watch, disappointed, of course, that McGwire wound up getting tossed out. But these guys love Fernando Vina. Why the painted chest, fellas?
Oh, we just want to support Vina because we love that man.
Is there a reason? I mean, he's a wonderful ball player. Is it because you're built like him?
No, we just love the way the grit he brings on the field, how he leads the team. He's just really a spark plug at the top of the lineup.
Okay, perfect. Well done. So you don't have to be a slugger to appreciate baseball, guys.
Well, that's good, and that's how knowledgeable fans we are here in St. Louis. And there's a base hit by Joe Beimel, and now Tony La Russa. Has he been thrown out?
No, he hadn't been thrown out, but now the fans and La Russa were saying, okay, call it the same way for both teams.
Yep. Well,
and a couple pitches were close that went to balls for Tony's pitcher, so I'm sure he said something. And
well, I know, Al, that Tony says this on occasion, and we have nothing but good reason to agree with him. It seems like Mark McGwire's strike zone is so much bigger than a lot of other guys who bat in the big leagues in the National League. There's a popped up bunt. Bobby Bonilla can't get there. And when you look at strike one to Mark, which was a decent looking fastball, low and away around the knees, okay, strike one. But then I said immediately on the air, Mark did not like the call, but then he's thinking, okay, now don't call me out on the pitch that is off the plate inside. And then that is exactly what happens, and you can't really hit under those conditions.
Yeah, a hitter cannot protect both sides of the plate, so he basically is dominant on one side or the other, and a pitcher pretty much is the same way. but you can't give a little extra black on both sides.
You know, that plate is no bigger when McGuire bats than it is when any little, medium, or regular guy bats. There's a drag bunt. Bonilla pounces. Who's going to get to the bag? Not the pitcher. And Tyke Redmond beats it out. I mean, he flew down that first base line.
If you're a pitcher and you know you have a speedy guy at the plate, you have to alter your move. Instead of the banana move and get it and race up the line, you've got to sprint right to the bag and get a pass from your first baseman coming right at the bag rather than trying to curve and run parallel with the base pass. A speedy guy will run right by you.
Now, Bud did try to reach out and get a tag going at the end of that play, but it was not possible. Here's Jack Wilson, who will probably be bunting. He leans back from it. That pitch was high and tight, and it's strike one on the foul bunt. Umpires will toss you, Al, when you drop your bat, throw your bat. You take the bat and the helmet.
Yeah, I mean, see, he's trying to sit there and he's saying, hey, all this stuff, you hit, and I'm sure there's a little more adjectives involved in it, so that's an automatic ejection from that point, but we can understand how he got to that point.
No balls, one strike to Wilson.
You got to look at the positive side, Bob. You know, now he gets fully rested. He'll be ready for tomorrow.
There will not be a play at third. Smith to second. Vigna has to stretch. That ball was bunted in the air by Jack Wilson, but he deadened it once it hit the ground. And so the Pirates have second and third, one out now as the sacrifice goes 1-3. Jason Kendall next.
Yeah, he lets the ball come right there, and as I say, you know, the bat is just, think of it in terms of the glove. You got your fingers behind the barrel, and you just use the bat as a glove and just catch the ball with the bat. When it comes in there, have the soft hands, so it comes, pushes it back into your hand, and that deadens the ball, even if you pop it up, such as he did.
There's a strike to Kendall. So the Pirates have a chance, especially the way their young pitcher's throwing, to bust this thing open here in the top of the fifth inning. Joe Beimel has stymied the Cardinals, and they've got 2 runs.
And they have their most experienced and professional hitters coming up.
Kendall, Giles, maybe Ramirez, maybe a pop-up. Bonilla shallow at first, just in case. There's a little flare to right field. Pujols rushing in. He's there. All he's got to do is throw it on target. The runner didn't tag. Coming halfway down the line was the pitcher Beimel, and then he went back, and that's why Elbert held the ball, because there was no chance at all of a tag up.
Kind of tries to inside out it, push it to the right side, but got underneath it a little bit and got that big second out. First base is open, but you have your left-hander here. He's a dangerous one, and he's 1 for 2.
There's a breaking ball that catches the inside corner.
You go back to Kendall here. Watch Marrero. He's going to be set up inside, but he wants the ball down, and the ball was up and in, and actually a better pitch.
Yeah, for the pop-up. Got him around the trademark, and a big second out for the Cards. Now he's got Giles 0-1. Breaking ball 0 away, blocked by Eli. That evens things up. Cardinals have beaten the Pirates 7 out of 8 this year, 4 out of 5 here. But these Bedell Bucks look a lot better than a team 18 games out of first place this weekend. We told you the Astros scored bottom of the second at home. Cubs got a run top of the third, and after 3, it's Chicago 2-1 over Houston. Inside target on 1-1. It's right in there. Strike 2. The one thing we've learned about Bud Smith early, he's a young pitcher with great poise, and he's not afraid to move the ball around, in and out, up and down.
Well, he has to do those things, and he has to change speeds. Got that good changeup, but sometimes that's not the most effective pitch to a left-handed swinger.
1-2 delivery, fastball. He overpowered him. Renteria on target. and the Pirates are gone in the 5th. They leave 2, they've left 5, and for the rest of the night, the Cardinals will be without Mark McGwire, ejected by Tim Timmons, and the Pirates lead 2-0. This portion of Cardinal baseball on WB11 brought to you by the President Casino, now electrifying the landing, and by Jack in the Box, where we don't make it till you order it. Well, Rich Kiefer, one of our audio or video guys, his daughter Judy, his granddaughter here watching the game tonight. Cardinal baseball is a family affair for our Bud Sports crew tonight. A lot of them hanging out with dads, daughters.
That's the Cardinal rally. You know, that's get runs rally.
All right. Sounds good to me, partner. Private
Kiefer message there.
Edmonds leads off. Cardinals out hit 7-2, outscored 2-0. And it'll be Edmonds, Paquette, and Renteria in the Cardinal 5th. We're up to $2,400 in our TV auction for the use of owner Bill DeWitt's Deluxe Suite. We will be taking your bids until the 8th inning. Well, let's see, is that top or bottom of the 8th? That will be until the bottom of the 8th inning.
Oh, we got to get more than that. That's just radio money.
There's a pitch low and away, 2-0. We're going to take you back to 1930 in a minute, courtesy of our friends at Snooks for Cardinals history. 71 years ago. Here's a 2-0 pitch. Edmonds out of play to the left side. Terry Graves here at the ball game tonight says hi to her brother Andy and nephews Tony and Christopher Graves. They're watching on WB11 in Lonedale, Missouri, and they're visiting from Dry Creek, Louisiana, rooting for the Cards. Here's the 2-1 pitch, and it's inside. Terry, one of our great Cardinal gals downstairs, who keeps everybody straight down there in the Cardinal Club.
She's one that makes us wait for 20 minutes for the elevator.
Yeah. She
pushes it 5 minutes before we get there.
She plays that piano down there sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
3-1 pitch, and Edmonds gets a leadoff walk. Hey, when you're down by 2 and the bats are quiet, walk's as good as a hit. On this Schnooks date in Cardinal history, we take you back to July 21st, 1930. How about George Puccinelli, Sonny Jim Bottomley, Dodgers Hal Lee, and Harvey Hennick, all homer, appearing as pinch hitters. Can you imagine that? 4 pinch hits in one game, 2 by each club. That's what John Vanderwall used to do. He's over there in that Pirate dugout.
Harvey Hennick's the pitcher, right?
That's a little before Harvey's time. That's a different hat.
Different, okay.
Yeah. How about Craig Paquette, Al, back in the 3rd inning, saving a couple of runs.
And it was a nice play. That was the 3rd out of an inning, and a dangerous time. There was a runner on, so it would have been an extra run for the Pirates.
That would have been a couple on a drive. That was by Jason Kendall with a man on and 2 outs. The Cardinals already down 1-0. Runs are precious on this weekend so far. Paquette flied to center first time up. He's tired of waiting. Craig has a modest 5-game hitting streak on the line. He's 5 for his last 16. Eli Marrero just had a hitting streak snapped of about 6 or 7 games the other day. Anytime you're a less than full-time player and you've got a hitting streak going, that's doing a good job. Tough to do it when you're not playing all the time. Here's the 1-0 instead of look to first. Second time. And Joe Beimel has what appears to be a rather deceptive move. You kind of don't know until late whether Beimel is going over there or not. Eli Marrero had a 7-game streak stop with an 0 for 4 Thursday in Houston. And here's Paquette with a part-time 5-game streak. A drive to right, deep, approaching the track. Heisdu, he can't get it. Home run, Paquette. A 2-run shot, and the Cardinals are right back in it. We are tied. made it 2.
So far, a very good game for Paquette. He took away a home run, and now he has tied this game with his home run. A 2-run shot to the opposite field. And doesn't it seem like Pokey always comes around with some big, big hits, whether it's pinch hit home runs or just games that he's starting. And he went down and got this ball, drives it to the opposite field, and the Bank of America sign will never be the same.
He cashed in. High bouncer by Renteria. Ramirez low throw, and Kevin Young somehow corralled that thing. You know, Al, every time I see something like this from Craig Paquette, you know what I think of? Remember the last day of last season? Todd Helton had just homered against the Braves in Atlanta, and then Paquette hit an opposite field homer here that gave the Cardinals a lead, and a little while later the Cardinals had home field advantage for the playoffs.
I was thinking for a minute, remind you of that melee in Cleveland. You confused me when you said melee. It's always a melee.
Melee. A 350-foot homer by
what a
Craig
melee
Paquette.
is? It's a confused struggle, especially a hand-to-hand fight among several people.
Well, we got 3 up here. Let's have a melee. Jimmy Garcia steps away. He's always been afraid of us.
And I've always been confused.
Wow. I like that.
Nice going, Doug.
And a little tapper grabbed by the pitcher, Beimel. On target, he throws out Eli Marrero for the second out. Ballpark still buzzing after the Paquette homer, and Bud Smith back even now will check in.
Eli has such great speed, you wondered why it wasn't a little closer. Now you saw why. Slip coming out of the batter's box, and Eli deserves a lot more playing time, but Matheny's still kind of nursing that hamstring and groin little strain. He played last night after Eli caught the 2 games in Houston.
Where's Bud? Hey, Bud, time to bat. Here he comes. We'd like to say hi to Kevin and Thomas from their mom and dad, who are here watching the game tonight at the ballpark. The employee owners of Phelps County Bank here for tonight's Rolla, Missouri night. They send their wishes for a speedy recovery to their buddy Kelly King of Rolla, tuning in at St. John's Hospital in St. Louis.
Got a real nice note from Ray King. He's here from Frederickstown, Missouri. Brought his 11-year-old son Corey with him. Said the last time he was at the ball game was in the 70s. Where you been?
Wow.
Anyway, he's just nice little note. I appreciate it. Cute little story.
And a breaking ball low and away. Our buddy Jeff Kindle of Bud Sports, his son Anthony, celebrating a 4th birthday today. When the Cards and the Pirates get together, happy birthday, Anthony Kindle. Your dad's a good guy. There's a pitch away, and it's 2 balls, 1 strike. Cardinals back even on the Paquette homer. Bud Smith looking for his 2nd major league hit, and he takes strike 2. Bud struck out back in the 3rd. Well, the complexion of this game changed in a heartbeat, didn't it?
Sure did for Bud, too. He would have been out of the game.
2-2, and he's rung up on the inside corner. 3 strikeouts for Joe Beimel, but after a leadoff walk to Edmonds, Craig Paquette goes down and, using his best golf swing, gets one out of here. Cards back even. About this week on WB11 News at 9, Jeff Bernthal, Melanie Moon, Dan Issa with sports, Martina Brown with the weather. WB11 News at 9 for our St. Louis audience, right after tonight's Cardinal game. Craig Paquette has had a 4-run impact on this game tonight, saving the Cardinals 2, getting the Cardinals 2, and a 2-2 game into the 6th with Aramis Ramirez leading off for Pittsburgh, and Bud Smith has a new life. Fastball high to Ramirez, who's 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored. What's happening in Houston? Nothing lately. After 4, Cubs 2, Astros 1. And Bud Smith gets a swing and a miss from Ramirez.
Good fastball that was up but high, then a changeup down and away for a swing and a miss. He's got a real good idea of what he wants to do.
2 runs on 7 hits so far. A little more hittable than Bud has been. And we have another new bid for our owner's deluxe suite. We're up to $2,600 in our television barbecue on-air auction tonight. You've got about 2.5 more innings to get your bid in. And there's a called third strike. And Ramirez is as bewildered as McGuire was. And the Cardinal fans are hungry for a Pittsburgh ejection.
Well, the scout report is a lot of times when he's ahead in the count, he'll throw that changeup away, and he came and after a fastball in, he throws another a fastball away. He throws this fastball up and in and gets that strikeout.
Here's Kevin Young, 1 for 2 with an RBI double, and that one is low.
Hey, Bob, do you think we could throw in a visit to the broadcast booth if it happens to be a TV game?
Sure. Absolutely.
Can we get a little more money out of that bid now?
Yeah, you folks, if you want to come to Mr. DeWitt's deluxe suite. I mean, you know, we have
I don't know we get all 24 in
no,
here, but
maybe 4 at a time.
We'll get the pay, the #1 pay man.
Yeah. A little flare to center. Fernando is there. Vina's got it for the second out. You can come over. Al Raboski will sign an autograph for you.
Well, we don't want to cheapen it.
that will only enhance it, Al. And so we've got 2 outs here in the 6th. So we'll throw in a visit to the broadcast booth, whether it's you and Joe or you and Dan or you and I. And on a mutually agreed date in the 2002 season, come on down to the ballpark. And we've got a bid of $2,600 right now. You can use your American Express, Discover, MasterCard, or Visa. So right now, the bid we have is just slightly over $100 per person, and it's a much bigger value than that.
And of course, we're talking about there'll be a considerable tax deductible.
Absolutely. There's a high fly left field from the bat of Haizdu. Renteria's out. He holds off Paquette and takes it. And we have had a momentum shift at Busch Stadium. We are even at 2. Top of the order coming right up. We've had some controversy here tonight. Tim Timmons, the home plate umpire, has had a couple of questionable punch-outs, Al, on similar pitches.
This one to the left is to McGuire. Eventually was ejected. Last inning to Ramirez. He questioned it, but stayed in the game.
And the pitch to McGuire was considerably higher than the one that punched out Aramis. Fernando Vina for the Cardinals in the bottom of the 6th, and I bet those boys out Suite 62 are going wild right now. Their guy is at the plate. Fernando 1 for 2 tonight. There they are.
I want to correct you. It's Suite 70.
Well, they're 70 to the right.
Well, actually, you know, the booth they're in is the Whitaker Holmes booth.
Is that right?
With the broken window.
There was a pop-up on a bunt, and Jason Kendall had no idea where that ball was. That suite is above where the 62nd homer was.
It's just that's what the 62 signals where the home run was. See where pop-up right here, Jason Kendall. He doesn't locate it at all. He didn't realize it even went up.
$2,750 now, our latest bid in our on-air auction tonight.
You see where Kendall has 11 errors on the year. I don't know how many of those are on the outfield.
Yeah, he has played some in the field. There's Vina with a funny little chop. They've got to hurry. They do. Kevin Young made a real quick exchange to get that ball to the pitcher, Joe Beimel.
Kevin Young in this series has played very well at first base, whether it's a fall in the dirt or going to his right, the foot race, and Beimel beats Vina.
Jason Kendall, 78th start behind the plate tonight. He has started 14 games in left field and 1 in right field. So you would have to think that a good number of his errors have come while catching. More so than usual. Here's Polanco, and it's ball 1 outside. Placido tonight 0 for 2 with a double play ball and a fly to center. Flare foul. That'll leave the count 1-1. Good crowd on hand tonight. All the sections are occupied at Busch Stadium. I would think we've got a crowd in the area of 44,000, maybe a few more. On a Saturday night when it's been sizzling here in town. 93 at game time. It's cooled off a bit. Not a whole lot. Here's the 1-1 to Placido. That'll be low, 2 balls, 1 strike. Ryan Lindsay of Jacksonville, Illinois, celebrating his 6th birthday at the park tonight with his mom and dad, Jason and Cheryl, brother Blake and sister Morgan. He says his first perfect gift would be to see Albert hit a home run. Well, maybe the man on deck will oblige. 2-1. How about a Polanco base hit? That guy doesn't go hitless very often. He hits a shot through the hole, and it's 1 on, 1 out. Cardinals hosting a one-day dance clinic at the Regal Riverfront August 15th, noon to 6. Team Fredbird will teach kids how to play and dance. And once the session is complete, everybody gets to jump on the field prior to the Cards and Reds and do their thing. It's open to all 5th through 8th grade kids. Call the Cardinals at 425-0688.
That's a neat promotion, and I can't believe, get the Team Fredbird and Fredbird out there, teach all the kids how to dance. I never learned how to dance. Of course, it's okay with me, but I wasn't as fortunate with you because I didn't have Denny Terrio teach me like you.
Yeah, well,
you and Dance Fever, John Travolta, you were in the same class together, weren't you?
Yeah, John and me, we're tight. Travolta, Carpentari, we're all from the same place. Of course, our guys in the truck, they're more of the Gene Kelly, Fred Astaire genre and age. By the way, speaking of Jacksonville, Illinois, I'd like to say hello to one of our favorite Cardinal gals up there, Jan Nickel, who's been battling cancer for a number of months, and we hope she's doing just fine.
Mike Lincoln, a young right-hander, is out there in the bullpen. Lloyd McClendon out there to talk, maybe hanging around. I was thinking maybe he might have wanted to have a comment with the home plate umpire.
Check all the bases. Lloyd's running off the field. Was that something a couple weeks ago when he got into the big brouhaha with the umpires? He took first base out of the ground, took it back to the dugout with him. One of the funniest things the manager's done. Of course, the league office or the commissioner's office didn't consider it very comical. But here's Albert with 1 on, 1 out. Bottom of the 6th, tie game. The Cards are trying to take that momentum they grabbed with the Paquette homer last inning. The 1-2-3 Bud Smith 6th.
See the bullpen coach back there. You may not know who he is. That's Bruce Tanner. Are we all familiar with his dad, Chuck Tanner?
Yes, sir. Pirate manager, Braves manager, White Sox too.
White Sox.
Yeah. 2-0.
He was a fun guy, good baseball man. And Bruce
we still
is his
see
son.
Chuck when we go to Pittsburgh, don't we? He's a regular visitor.
Seems like he's still doing some scouting. Very always a warm personality, smile on his face, and
2-0 to Pujols, who should be the Rookie of the Year. There's a former Cardinal Rookie of the Year in that Pirate dugout. One of the great baseball men that we've ever known, Mr. Bill Verdon, is over there as the bench coach for Lloyd McClendon. Albert's going to have more home runs than Bill did when he had 17 for the 55 Cardinals. The 2-1, runner back easily. The interesting thing about Bill Verdon's career, he never hit double-figure homers after that. He won a Gold Glove with the Pirates in '62.
Bill managed in several major league clubs, but isn't it interesting how many young players that turn managers for the first time, and the ball gets away, a wild pitch, and Polanco's down to second, around the bag, but he'll stay there. But how many young managers have asked for Bill Verdon to be their bench coach and help them, guide them along their early years of managing?
Bill managed the Pirates for 2 years, the Yankees for 2, the Astros for 7.5, one of their longest tenures ever, and the Expos for a couple of years.
There's the wild pitch right at the back foot, gets by Kendall all the way to the screen.
3-1 pitch. It is ball 4. Pujols walks, And now instead of McGuire, it's Bobby Bonilla who replaced Mark after he was ejected 2 innings ago. So the pitching coach, Spin Williams, visiting with McClendon, and that appears to be it for Joe Beimel. He will pitch 5 1/3, and the Cardinals get him out of here.
The pitcher is his second scheduled hitter, so we're going to probably have a double switch. Wayner looks like he's going to come in and play in the field, right field, as Mike Lincoln, right-hander, will take over on the mound.
So the pitcher will bat in the number 7 spot for the Pirates, and John Wayner, who's a Pittsburgh boy, will take over in right field. So the Cardinals have some good things happening here. Bottom 6, 2 on, 1 out. They've got 2 on, 1 out. John Wayner, who's a native of Pittsburgh, will take over in right field. Not from that Wayner family. And then to the pitcher, it'll be 26-year-old right-hander Mike Lincoln.
He was in AAA. He's made 8 appearances at the big league level. 1.38. He's been scored upon in 2 of his last 3 outings, and those are his numbers. He's from the University of Tennessee.
Here's Bobby Bonilla taking a breaking ball low, and why is he in the game, you might ask?
There was the called 3rd strike after the first one was down and away off the plate. And he basically said, you know, hey, I can't hit this stuff with your strike zone. Why don't you hit? And as soon as he did that, Mark was tossed, and Bobby is taking his spot right now.
Breaking ball for a strike. We have another bid now. $2,950 on the use of Bill DeWitt's deluxe suite for a mutually agreeable date next year.
You know, I finally read home plate umpire Tim Timmons' lips on that last exchange. You know what he said?
Runner going to third. What a play by Polanco on a ball that did not get that far away. And the Cardinals have first and third, 1 out.
Well, when Mark McGuire offered him the bat, he said, yes, I'll take it, but please sign it first. Here's what you say, a breaking ball, who swings through it. Look at the backswing. And Bobby actually tried to get it out of the way because he felt contact with the catcher on the backswing. So he was sitting there right there and just a little bit away, but if a good base running, anticipation, and taking a chance, even at a tie score, he gets over to third base. But
you know,
the runner at first did not advance, so the double play is still in order.
1-2 delivery, low and inside. That play by Polanco can win you a game in the 6th inning.
Sure it can.
I mean, he got a great jump. Kendall couldn't even throw, and it was only 90 feet away.
And, you know, and it's a shorter throw to third, but heads up base running, nothing we expect from Polanco. You got to come with anticipation.
They're going to call that a wild pitch, even though Bonilla swung and missed. It was a pitch in the dirt. Bobby on 2-2 needs to drive this run in. High and tight, almost hit him.
Bobby Bonilla got a pinch hit double in last night's game off the left-hander Sauerbeck. He's got 2,001 hits now. He got that milestone Wednesday, and then the pitch hit last night.
First and third, 1 out. 3-2 pitch. Ground ball foul. He's done nothing but jam Bobby with breaking balls, with the exception of that 2-2 fastball that was high and tight. So they're staying in on Bonilla. They don't want him driving the ball anywhere.
Driving the ball, it's a hit. There you see the Cubs have taken a 3-1 lead in the 6th.
That was with a run in the 5th.
Bobby trying to get at least a sacrifice fly. They're trying to get a ground ball.
And a fake to third, look to first, nothing going on. Nobody even near Polanco over there. Kevin Young does hold Pujols at first. 2-2 game. Cards have been out hit 7-4, but that means nothing. Bobby Bonilla holds that bat high, looking for the RBI. Ground ball, base hit, off the glove of Young. Polanco scores. Pujols to third. Bobby Bo delivers, and the Cardinals have a 3-2 lead.
Boy, that just eases the pain of the McGuire ejection. Hard to sleep when you don't get that run in, when you've got one of your big hitters, but it wasn't pretty but effective. Off-speed pitch, he's out in front, he pulls it, and this time it is by the diving first baseman, Kevin Young. He goes into right, but it took a little steam out of it, and they exchange places, first and third again, but the Cardinals take a 3-2 lead. Lincoln is through.
And the Pirates will change pitchers again. It appears to be left-hander Damaso Marte, their other left-hander. So the Birds are in business. First and third, one out, a run home. Bobby Bowe puts the Cardinals on top. May not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Cardinal Baseball, a production of Bud Sports and an exclusive presentation of Fox Sports Net. Lefty-lefty matchup. A young pitcher the Pirates got from the Yankee organization in a trade for Enrique Wilson. Damaso Marte, and it's outside, ball one.
He was in Double-A with the Yankees, then he pitched in Triple-A with the Pirates. Now all the way to the big leagues. This is his 6th game. He has no record, 4.05 ERA, and very limited work.
What a time for a busted open hit by Jim Edmonds. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. Upstairs, ball 2. Edmonds walked leading off the 5th, and then the man behind him, Craig Paquette, got the Cards back even with an opposite field home run. And the 2-0. Waiting is Edmonds. Bonilla at first. Pujols at third. Way outside, ball 3. Then we might see another pitcher for the next batter.
You know, this is a young kid that Lloyd McClendon sent out there. He signed a contract when he was 17 years of age, but he's 26 now. So he has toiled in the low minor leagues for quite a while. You see, he's got a good arm, but a little bit unsure where it's going. Slings the ball up there.
Yeah, when you're a situational left-hander, you might get one batter. Runner going off first. A steal for Bonilla. No, not a steal. It's ball 4. Bases loaded. So Lloyd McClendon twice goes by the book. Neither of his pitchers, Lincoln or Marte, retire a man. And now we'll see if Paquette will face this pitcher or Rich Loisel. How about Paquette tonight, Al?
Well, it's been a nice game for him on both sides. Here he robs a home run. At that time, it would have been a 2-run home. And now he hits a 2-run home run to get the Cardinals on the scoreboard. That tied the game at 2-all. So Craig, whether he's wearing the leather or swinging the wood, he's been doing his job tonight.
And McClendon stays with. No, he's not going to.
Ben Williams
Look
has
at
called
this.
time.
He's walking out as his pitcher goes into the stretch. I don't know why they were waiting so long.
Well, you're waiting because maybe the bullpen, which
Loisel has been warming
out
for
there.
a while.
But you got the pitching coach coming out here, so he may let the lefty go ahead and face Paquette because they're worried about Langford coming off the bench.
Cardinals have 3 left-handed bats. Robinson, Clapp, and Langford. This looks like a little more than an instructional talk. There's a little motivation going on too. And that was interesting. Spin Williams walking up the steps of the dugout as his pitcher was already in the stretch. Kendall finally saw what was going on and got everybody's attention to get time. So Paquette with Pujols at third. He walked. Bonilla at second. He drove in a run with a base hit. And Edmonds, who walked at first. Craig a chance to bust it open now. Cardinals lead 3-2, bottom of the 6th. There's a drive. Right center. Well hit. And near the track. Drive. They never made contact. Ground rule double. Cardinals will score 2. Redmond simply missed it. 5-2 St. Louis. How about that?
Bob, earlier in the year, Redmond was up, and he had a horrible game. Could not make contact, swung through pitches, and he misplayed a ball in the outfield, much like this one. Remember earlier, you wonder about almost making contact with Haizu, the right fielder, earlier. Does this scare off Redmond here? He hears Warner's footsteps. Was his concentration worried about the right fielder? And not look that ball into his glove, but that ball has to be caught, and you can understand that's the first time we've really seen the Pirates and why they've played so poorly, or why their road record and overall record is bad this year.
Damaso Marte is done. They will go to their veteran right-hander, Rich Loisel, to face Renteria and Marrero. The Cardinals get a huge break. It's a 3-run inning, and there are 2 more sitting out there. Just running into each other.
Well, see right there, and you know, Redmond called for it. He calls for this one, but just because Wainer was in the vicinity, you wonder if, see, he's going to call him off and everything, but yet he doesn't really vacate. That's good enough for most outfielders. He was staying far enough away, but for the young Redmond, you wonder if that he heard footsteps and shied away from that ball and just missed it, and that came at an opportune time for the Cardinals and a terrible time for the Pirates.
Infield in, Renteria. Cardinals lead by 3. A chance for a 4 or 5 run inning here. Just past the 9 o'clock hour here. Renteria waits. Pitch out. They thought the Cardinals were going to suicide squeeze. We'll tell you. You're watching Cardinal baseball on KPLR TV, WB11, our Cardinal Network flagship station. So Lloyd McClendon guessing with La Russa there.
That was not anywhere in my thought process. Was it yours?
Never thought about it.
Never thought about that.
Not when you're trying to hack your way to an insurmountable lead.
Infield in, everything like that. Let him swing away.
They do it again. Maybe it's an intentional walk disguised as pitch outs. Marrero next. If so, these are the hardest intentional balls 1 and 2 I've ever seen. Kendall still looking over to that dugout. Jose Oquendo not sure what to tell Jim Edmonds right now. Be alert. Tag on a fly. 1 out.
Go ahead and do it again.
Here's a 2-0. Well, this is an intentional walk disguised as pitch outs, hoping they might get Edmonds creeping too far down the line, although the third baseman Ramirez isn't really anywhere near the bag.
Now they're going to go ahead and intentionally pass Renteria.
And even though it's only on 1 pitch, really, it does go down as an intentional walk. The bases are loaded with 1 out. Now it's Eli's turn to add another 1 or 2 or 3 to the Cardinal lead.
Loisel was an outstanding closer for the Pirates in '97, his rookie year. He had 29 saves. Then in '98 he had 19. Started developing arm problems. Has missed the last year and a half with a reconstruction on his right elbow, and he has been roughed up of late.
Infield back looking for a double play. Ball 1 way outside. What's Tim McClellan doing down there?
He's putting a little message to the ground crew.
Maybe that's for Kurt Schlegel in the umpire's room.
Oh,
Send more coffee.
He would hand that to Kurt.
Yeah, a drive to right, and Wainer misjudges it. It's over his head. Edmonds scores. Paquette scores, and right behind him, Renteria. The bases are clear, and the Cardinals lead the hapless defensively Pirates 8-2. What a crazy inning this is.
Lloyd McClendon was telling me he was so proud of the way his ball club was playing that they were staying in all ball games. And now Tony is going to call back. But let's go back to this. Pitch is up, out, away from him. The ball shoots here. And Wainer came in, had a terrible approach. The ball gets over his head. It clears the bases. You saw Marrero pulling up there because Oquendo was trying to stop Renteria. Let's go back to the play before when Paquette out there with Tyke Redmond, he shies away from the right fielder on a ball with the bases loaded. It's a ground rule double. And then now another missed play, and the Cardinals just jump out and are given 6 gift runs. Eli, he was really paying attention going between second and third because he saw Kendall was trying to stop Renteria because he was 1 step behind the runner in front of him.
Now Kerry Robinson bats for Bud Smith. Tony's going to say, Bud, you gave us 6 great innings. You're a 6-run lead for a win. We're going to get it for you. And Bud Smith goes 6 innings, 2 runs, 7 hits. He walked only 1, first man of the game, and struck out 4. Another good outing for Bud. And he could be 2-0.
You keep on making things only positive for him. That's how you gain confidence and know you belong in the big leagues.
Kerry Robinson up the middle. That's going to be a hit. At least it'll drive a run in. It'll go 4-6-3. It's as good as a hit, and the Cardinals lead 9-2. When are the Pirates going to catch the ball cleanly tonight?
Well, these guys up the middle have done a good job of complimenting and helping each other out. Look at this nice range by the second baseman. Dives for it, but deflects it to his shortstop, who's paying attention. A flip throw, they get Kerry at first, but the Cardinals get their 9th run. Morero, a ball up away, shoots it out into right. A poor approach by the right fielder. Now follow him all the way. He's got the play in front of him. But as he picked up O'Kent, now you see him slow down. Now he goes ahead because Renteria ran right through the stop sign. He was literally a yard or 2 right behind Paquette, and you know, it's one of those plays. I remember one time where I think it was Carlton Fisk tagged out 2 runners
on the same play
at home plate because the runners were so close.
Pena bats for the 2nd time in this inning, and he gets hit. You know, Al, you can get pulled over in Missouri for tailgating, and this is a blatant violation right here.
Well, see, it's also something where you see Edmonds trying to tell both of them to stand up, and sometimes one guy reads it, the other guy doesn't.
You don't want the first guy sliding there. That would have been something. We can laugh about it, but those kind of things can be dangerous. What an inning this is. So the 11th man to bat in the inning is Polanco. You know, I think it was Gene Michael, the third base coach for the Yankees, who pretty much lost his job because of that play you were talking about when Carlton Fisk tagged out the 2 Yankees. I'm thinking it was Michael.
Stick.
Who later would be a Yankee manager and GM. Polanco shoots one off to the right. I've never seen a club have so much trouble in the outfield in 1 inning as the Pirates have had here tonight. Polanco got the first hit of this inning with 1 out. There's only been 1 out since then. Everybody in the lineup hitting safely except for Renteria, who has scored, and Kerry Robinson, who got an RBI ground ball. So he did his job. And there's a little roller. What's going to happen on this one? Nunez will scoop it, and the Cardinals score 7 runs. It's possible they shouldn't have had hardly any, but they're all earned, and we go top of the 7th. Greg Paquette, the big man with Morero, 9-2 Cardinals.
Into the 7th inning we go. Cardinals now leading 9-2. Steve Blass was a tremendous pitcher, is a wonderful broadcaster for the Pittsburgh Pirates. That was a tough inning for you to call, wasn't it, Steve?
Yeah, that wasn't much fun. There are bad innings, and then there are vile innings. That was that was a vile inning, and certainly opened up the door, and it was a good ball game up to that point.
But your ball club has improved since we saw them earlier this year, haven't they?
Yeah, since around the 1st of June, the pitching has been better. They've been playing better fundamental baseball, so we went through a tough stretch. But it's better now, but there's still work to be done. We need to be better defensively, as we got an example of this last half inning.
So long to go. Can the Cardinals catch Houston and catch the Cubs, 2 teams ahead of them, in your opinion?
Well, yeah, absolutely. They're capable. I think it's a couple different things. The Cubs need to hold up for their pitching because they don't have much offensive support in and around Sammy Sosa. So that's going to be a factor. I think they're going to have to do it with pitching. The Houston Astros, who knows what they're going to do? You never know what the pitching situation is. They have a lot of talent. The reason you never discount the Houston Astros is because of Billy Wagner, the hammer out of the bullpen.
Thank you, Steve, so much. One of the class guys in baseball, guys.
That he is. Thank you, Rich. He was a World Series MVP with the Bucks, and that's probably the first interview Steve Blass has done this year when somebody did not ask him about Rick Ankiel. Because Rick, of course, the control problems, is what ended Steve Blass's major league career.
For lack of a better word, we just classically call that disease Steve Blass disease.
Some have referred to it as that. Top of the 7th, and Dave Veers for the Cardinals now. On the corner for a strike to Abraham Nunez, and then John Wehner next. There's your score. It pops into view. Cardinals leading 9-2 with a 7-run 6th. By the way, the Astros got 2 in the 6th, and they're tied with the Cubs 3-3. There's a drive down the right field side that will be uncatchable for Pujols. One hop to the wall, and Abraham Nunez is 2 for 3 tonight in the number 8 hole.
See what he has hit the ball pretty well, and he has made some fine plays defensively, so see him get some more playing time.
By the way, we should announce, after Al does this replay, our new bid.
Yeah, there's the split finger pitch, but it kind of stayed up a little bit, started out high, so when he hit it, it was belt high and hit it into the corner.
We have a new bid,
is
$3,500.
Oh, now see, this is TV money. This is TV. That's not that radio stuff. This is real stuff.
All right. There's a swing and a foul by John Wehner. Hey, we'd like to wish a get well to Kaylee Byers. She's a rabid 15-year-old Cardinal fan recovering from spinal fusion surgery. Everything went great, we understand. She's in Springfield's Memorial Hospital up in the capital of the land of Lincoln for about a week. So, Kaylee, we are rooting for you, kid. Come and see us at the ballpark when you get well. We'll be happy to have you come up and hang out with us for a while.
The Astros and Cubbies are all tied up after 6, 3-3.
Yep. There's ground to be gained tonight. John Wehner, 0-2. He's a hometown guy who has really amazingly hung around with the Pirates for about the last 4 or 5 years. I mean, this guy has been up and down, majors, minors, majors, minors. And they thought at one time he was going to be a big-time answer at third base.
Remember, he had the back surgery and the back problems kind of derailed him a little bit.
It's not spelled the same, but he has a great baseball name for Pittsburgh, Wehner. There's a drive caught by Bonilla, and the runner holds. Nobody could get over there quickly enough for a DP, and Bobby Bonilla with a good reaction play.
One of the reasons why they liked him so much is look at his hands. Look where he stands right there. They try to get the ball up. They pull the trigger from there. You see, he comes back into a trigger mechanism, but he's big, strong, and kind of quick with that bat, and a lightning quick shot off the bat, but right into the glove of Bobby Bo. You can hold your hands there, but at some point you've got to bring it back to a trigger point, and he does so.
Here's Tiger Redmond, and Veers throws a strike. Big Poison, Paul Wehner, one of the Pirates Hall of Famers.
Where's Little? Little Poison.
Yeah, what was Lloyd was Little Poison, wasn't he? Lloyd Wehner?
Yep.
Lloyd James Wehner. Hall of Fame class of 1967 after Paul Big Poison Wehner went in 52. Pirates have a great tradition with guys like Pie Traynor, Roberto Clemente, Willie Pop Stargell, the late Willie Stargell, Ralph Kiner, still around, a Mets broadcaster who was a prolific home run hitter. Pirates have been to the World Series 7 times, and they've won it 5 times, more recently in '79 with the Stargell-led We Are Family Bucks.
I mentioned 2 guys kind of make me think how the game has changed a little bit.
2-1 pitch and a pop-up for Renteria. Who are they, Al?
Well, when you said Ralph Kiner, it makes you think of the classic line. He went in to negotiate after 1 year of winning the home run crown, and general manager said, hey, we finished last with you, we can finish last without you. You don't get a raise.
Wow. STLCardinals.com, your address and your official source for Cardinal merchandise. STLCardinals.com, connect with it. You can get the latest Cardinal stuff. Yeah, it was a little different in those days, Al. No agents, it was just the player and the GM, huh?
Yeah, and then there was, it was near this time, July 17th, 1949, Babe Adams hurled 21 innings without issuing a walk. Despite Adams suffering the loss, it remains the longest non-walk game ever pitched in Major League history. Now the game ended?
Oh, I'll say hit by pitch.
The game ended when Giants outfielder John Red Murray was knocked unconscious by lightning after catching a fly ball.
And as we told you, 2 in the 6th for the Astros, and it's tied at in-run field. Jack Wilson, the batter, locked up, and it's inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. And of course, pitching for the Pirates, Harvey Haddix, who had pitched for the Cardinals as a youngster, took a no-hitter, I think, into the 11th inning, maybe a perfect game, and eventually the Pirates lost that game.
Yep.
Because it was not a perfect game, even though you work through 9, it does not go down as a perfect game. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Harvey Haddix, a guy physically who was slight of build, didn't throw that hard, and I guess you could say Bud Smith is a modern-day Harvey Haddix.
And then Harvey even wore glasses to make him look even more non-athletic.
I'll tell you another guy who wore glasses, and it scared the heck out of everybody.
Ryan Dern.
Here's the 1-2, no Pirate. Big left-hander, Bob Veal. I mean, he was tough. I remember him matching up with Gibby on many occasions. Bob Veal, a big left-hander who wore glasses, and nobody was too comfortable stepping in against that big fella back in the 60s. 2-2 pitch. Nunez still at second base. That's a call, strike 3. It's time to stretch at Busch Stadium. Everything going the Cardinals' way right now. After 6½, get up out of your seats, take a stretch on this warm night, and the Redbirds warm our hearts with a 7-run lead. Bottom of the 7th, Cardinal baseball on KPLR TV, WB11. Bob Carpenter, Al Raboski, and Rich Gould, and a 9-2 Cardinal lead. Is it a laugher? Well, maybe almost. How many times have the Cardinals had a 7-run lead lately? Craig Wilson plays first. Keith Osick is the new catcher, as Lloyd McClendon gets some of his bench guys some playing time here. There's a ball up and in that hits Pujols. It looked like a breaking ball. And the second Cardinal in the last 3 hit by a pitch.
And Loisel, when he hit Vigna, it was also a breaking ball. You know, we talked about he's coming back off elbow surgery. You know, he's trying to find his command. He's just been getting beat up, and there you see it's a breaking ball and just doesn't have command. Now just go to first base. See, right on the left hip.
Here's Bobby Bonilla. By the way, folks, don't forget we have 1 more inning for our on-air auction for the use of owner Bill DeWitt's Deluxe Suite for a date next year. We're up to $3,500, and Al Raboski has personally guaranteed a visit to the Cardinal broadcast booth, TV booth, if we are televising that night. And I can tell you, he is a very hospitable guy.
Oh, yeah.
There's the 0-1. You'll probably walk out of here with some free chips and dip. Some other stuff from the buffet back there. You'll need it.
That is if they don't eat it in our booth, right? They're going to get plenty of food in their booth.
Soft drinks, beer, wine, and snacks over there.
We can take care of that.
1-1 to Bobby Bonilla. A big hit last time up. Gave the Cardinals the lead. Bobby's hit total now 2,002.
Yeah, we could probably get at least to 4,000 if we guarantee some Fernando Vigna salsa.
A jar of Fernando Vigna salsa. That'll warm up your summer night. 1 ball and 2 strikes. That stuff's got a little kick to it. And Bobby strikes out on a fastball away. 1-on-1 out. Next up, Jim Edmonds. Jim Edmonds has walked twice, scored twice. Still waiting for that bat to explode, but Jim's done some good things to help the Cardinals to get a couple of innings going. He had a leadoff walk ahead of Paquette's homer in the 5th. Sometimes a leadoff walk can be a huge factor in a ballgame. 44,930 for the Cardinals tonight. And that will put them over $2 million on the year. No, not quite. Tomorrow will. Right now, the Cardinals at about $1,963,000. So we'll go over $2 million easily tomorrow.
Feeling that Edmonds is going to do something very positive here.
By the way, this is the Cardinals' 50th home date of the year. So they're going to go well over $3 million again. The 1-1, low and outside, ball 2.
Barring the walk, I think he's going to hit this ball very hard. And I might even predict out into left center, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's over and into the bullpen.
2-1 pitch. There it goes. Left center. Are you kidding? Giles to the wall. Makes the catch. You were close. I'm going to start calling you Karnak.
Yeah, I'm disappointed.
What do you got? You got tea leaves or what going on up here? Or just a feeling?
Just a feeling. Not quite the catch that he made last night off the bat of Edmonds. And here, one, Pujols.
Dave McKay getting a little help from Edmonds. You can never have too many coaches over there. 2 outs, 1 on. Here's Paquette. What a night for Craig. A 2-run homer, a 2-run ground rule double. He saved a 2-run homer with his glove. And he is the Cardinals' star of the game right now. What a good night for him. He has 30 RBIs now. And he's only 2 homers now away from double figures. Last year for the Cardinals, Craig Paquette, who does not play every day, hit 15 homers and drove in 61, so he's on par to do that again.
Well, if you look at these, since he's come to the Cardinals, there's probably a solid full year. You know, if you took last year and part of '98, there'd be over 100 RBIs and like 30 home runs.
Yeah. Yeah, when you project his numbers out as if he was an everyday player, he's right there with some pretty good performers in this league. And it's not an easy job what he does. Pujols the lead with 2 outs and a 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, got him on a breaking ball. Loisel fans 2. The Cardinals have scored 9, and they've only stranded 3 runners all night long. 1 more inning for our auction, folks, and the Cardinals lead 9-2. This portion of Cardinal Baseball on WB11 is brought to you by Bank of America. We find financial solutions that fit you. And by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers for tires and complete auto service. All you need is Dobbs. Well, the Cardinals got a good inning out of Dave Veers. He'll be fresh for tomorrow if needed. Great crowd on hand tonight after the 7th inning stretch, a half inning later. And some 8th inning work now for Luther Hackman.
Having fun with his 9-2 Cardinal lead. We played 7 here. They've played 7 in Houston. Still a 3-3 tie there. So the Cardinals are going to pick up ground on either the first or second place team. Hackman has appeared in 6 times. He lost that game on Wednesday night down in Houston. Pitched very well when the team was behind, and then once they got the 8-6 lead, he kind of had a meltdown. And part of the double switch, the first batter he will face was the Osick, who went in last inning.
Keith Osick came in to catch in the bottom of the 7th, so he bats here in the 8th. And then if it gets down that far in the number 6 hole, will be Craig Wilson, who replaced Kevin Young at first base. Keith Osick, the longtime backup to Jason Kendall.
First time he's played since the All-Star break.
And a fly ball, fairly well hit. Edmonds going back. Is he going to get there? Yes! Edmonds diving to the track and taking an extra base hit away from Heath Osis.
Man, you haven't played since the All-Star break. You've been in a hitting slump, and then a center fielder shows their center fielder how to play the game. Unbelievable. I didn't think he was going to get there. Dives, and right at the grass, rolls onto the warning track. You won't find a better play. He made a great one in going to his right in Houston. Here, look at him. Look how he holds onto it. He dives there, comes up, rolls over, and holds onto it. Has that ball cradled like it's a newborn baby. That is as pretty a play as you'll see from a, you know, I was going to say perennial. He's only won 3 Gold Gloves, but I think we're going to use that term in the next few years.
Yeah, it's about to be perennial.
Gold Glover.
Tim McClellan out to have a look. Tim McClellan saw that a number of times in the American League when Edmonds was with the Angels. I would think Jimmy would rate that in his top 10.
You know what? That's what I was thinking. I think the second base umpire, Tim McClellan, went out there and said, I rate that, and told him where he rates it in his top 10.
Here's Brian Giles. He had some ground to cover because you all know how shallow Jim Edmonds plays. There's Giles with a half swing. Pena charges. It changes directions on him, and he throws out Brian Giles.
Well, that's the point that you talk about. He plays very shallow so he can get everything in front of him, but he has extreme confidence in going back on a ball. Not afraid to dive, and, you know, it's almost like you're running back. You're looking up. You're trying to track that ball, and at the last second you dive for the point that you think it's going to end up, and more frequently than not, it ends up in his glove.
Here's Ramirez. Ballpark still buzzing. Cardinals have given their fans some great moments here tonight. The Paquette play, the Paquette homer. And stay tuned for you St. Louis folks for the latest weather information on WB11. There's a bouncer for a hit up the middle. We'll keep an eye on things for you till 10 o'clock with that severe thunderstorm warning tonight. Or the counties west of it. That's Washington, Illinois. Okay, that's a little over on the other side of the river then. We'll keep you posted. And a base hit for Ramirez. Don't forget WB11 News at 9 for our St. Louis audience right after this. The old ball player Jeff Bernthal will be anchoring the news tonight.
Hey, here's an interesting young man, Greg Wilson. He has 17 hits, 7 home runs in those 17 hits, and 5 pinch hit home runs this year.
Wow. No wonder John Vanderwall's been a part-time starter. Vanderwall came into this year with 16 career pinch hit home runs.
He is playing first base now as he gone in late, but he is a catcher, and he has made quite a club record with these 5 pinch hit home runs. Remember last year, Hansen set the National League record with 7.
Dave Hansen of the Dodgers, great veteran player.
He hit one off of somebody the first trip we were in here. And he just gets, you know, big, strong kid that just has a pretty good hat.
They're going to jam him right down the inner half with a Luther Hackman fastball. Luther's a Mississippi guy from Columbus. 6'4", 185. 26 years of age. Cardinals got him in the Darryl Kyle Dave Beers deal with Colorado. Swing and a miss on a heartbreaking ball. That was a beauty. 7 stranded by the Bucks. It would have been more were it not for Jim Edmonds. Watch him go. Watch him fly. Watch him land. 9-2 Cards. Tonight on WB11, brought to you by Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light. By Southwest Airlines, celebrating 30 years of freedom. 30 years, one mission, low fares. By AutoZone, the right part, the right price, and good advice. And by your local St. Louis Chrysler Jeep dealers, the official automotive sponsor of the Cardinals on WB11. It's the last half inning of our auction tonight. We have a bid of $4,000 for the use of owner Bill DeWitt's Deluxe Suite. We will close the bidding as soon as the third out is made here in the bottom of the 8th.
You know, I know there's somebody who really has a lot of TVs. And I know they're even just teasing everybody. 4,000, that's a great offer and bid, and we appreciate all the other offers. But I know there's somebody sitting back just ready to steal this. toying with it, waiting for the bottom of the eighth inning to put in that final bid.
That's
I
right.
bet we get over 5,000.
0-2 to Edgar, and he shoots one off to the right. Couple of defensive changes. Abraham Nunez will move from second base to left field. And so Brian Giles is out, and Warren Morris will bat in the number 4 spot if he gets another at bat, and probably won't. Here's the 0-2 outside, ball 1.
You know, bet me one of those Fernando Vina salsas. Hey, where's Klein? He didn't pitch yesterday, did he?
Nope.
I mean, he's
Hey, I got to tell you something
been
about
going
Steve
crazy
Klein.
without pitching.
There's a drive out to short, a 3-hopper, gobbled up by Jack Wilson, and he throws out Renteria. Tonight before the game, Fujifilm photo night at the ballpark. No Cardinal spent more time on the field visiting with our fans, shaking hands, having his picture taken than Steve Klein. And I told Steve, man, you got to change that cap for photo night. He said, nope. But he is something else. We love him, and so do our fans. He told me to tell you to behave yourself tonight.
You
by the way.
can't tell him to change himself. That cap is him.
That cap is him. He is that cap. Here's Eli. And Stubby Clapp will get a pinch hit appearance next, and then Klein will come out and shut the door in the ninth, and we'll get out of here with a win and a game gained maybe on Houston. The Cubs just got a run in the top of the 8th to lead the Astros 4-3. As long as the Cardinals win this weekend, it's sort of a no-lose proposition.
Absolutely.
Eli, a tapper down to third for Ramos Ramirez, and on target for the second out. And we'll get an at-bat for Stubby Clapp here, and the fans will like it.
One of Eli's greatest asset is his running speed. So if you can run, you better show people. He's upset, but you see him hustling down the line and going hard, and every time they make it close. And if there's any little deviation, whether at third base or the throw across, he's going to beat some of those out.
So Luther Hackman pitches a scoreless 8th. Stubby will step in. The fans love it, and they love him. He is 3 for 15. He's 2 for 8, though, as a pinch hitter. That's not bad. Still looking for that first major league homer or RBI. He takes a big waving cut at a breaking ball, and Stubby's in the hole, 0-2. It's been fun to get to know this guy after hearing about him for a couple of seasons. We have an update for you. Cubs have scored another run in the 8th and now lead 5-3.
Well, like you talked about it, all you have to do is we have to win.
We've got a bid of 5,000 now with 2 outs here.
So do we get 5,000? You know what? There's somebody sitting back.
There may only be
somebody better protect their bid.
Only one pitch left, and it's out of play. So Stubby stays alive, and so does our auction.
The phone's ringing. The phone's ringing.
You are quite the huckster here.
Oh, we're having fun. The Cardinals got a nice lead. They're having a little fun. Stubby Clapp's getting a hit.
A lot of great money raised before we even start the barbecue tomorrow with the pitch hitters on the field, a picnic in the park after the game. Here's the 1-2. Stubby with a bouncer, and it'll be covered by Morris. Stubby rolls into the out at first base, and the Cardinals are gone in the 8th inning. Top of the 9th. Steve Klein will go to work. Stubby hustling, Stubby tumbling, and the Cardinals leading. Top of the 9th, a beautiful night for baseball. Warm, but the Cardinals' bats are as well. Look at that, 9 runs on 7 hits. They've only stranded 3 runners tonight. And if our ball game ends right here, we will send it right from the ballpark to local programming, and we will not run break 18. Steve Klein will pitch for the Cardinals here in the 9th.
He's preparing for the 55th time. He has 2 wins and 5 decisions, a 2.23 ERA. He just comes right after you, comes out there, and expects to work every day. When we talk about Steve Klein, and that hat is a symbol of him, we only mean that in the most positive way, because he's the blue-collar guy. He just comes to work, and he expects to perform every single day, and disappointed when he doesn't.
I'll give you a guess. Who's pinch hitting for the Pirates leading off the 9th? They have John Vanderwall, but he's left-handed. And there's Steve Klein's hat at the beginning of the year. And this is his hat now, and we're not even sure it's the same one. He could have gone through 8 or 10 by now.
No, that's the same one.
Omar Olivares is going to pinch hit for the Pirates here.
Well, remember, Omar was a pretty good hitter.
Well, he's 6 for 24 with a home run this year. He's the most potent right-handed bat they have left. He's the only right-handed bat they have left. Darryl Kyle.
Actually, yeah, they got Vanderwall's the only guy they've got left. And John had 3 punch-outs yesterday.
And a Tapper foul. Darryl Kyle has hit 2 major league home runs, and one of them back in '93 against the Cardinals against Omar Olivares on July the 3rd.
Bob, what does it say about your, you are trailing by 7 runs, but he is a relief pitcher and he's more valuable tonight as a hitter.
Yep, up and away, 1-2. Cardinals 9 runs on 7 hits, economical, only stranding 3 runners.
Happened to me one time. I was in the minor leagues. I got out of the Army and I was playing with the AA team. We were in the playoffs and I pitched hit in the 5th inning, and every pitcher wants to do that, but I wanted to get back to the big leagues and figured that my forte was not going to be as a pinch hitter or hitter.
You told me Whitey pinch hit you one time, right?
No, Joe Cunningham.
Oh, Joe did?
He was
Smoking Joe?
Whitey was the best manager. Joe was probably the smartest because he used me as a pinch hitter.
Okay. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss on some high gas. And if there's one guy, I don't care what the score is, who doesn't want a pitcher getting a hit off him, it's Steve Klein. Our plays of the game brought to you by Bud Light, the great taste that won't fill you up, never let you down. Al, where do we start?
Now, Paquette robbed a home run, and this was how many extra bases? Outstanding play by both of them at key points in games. Of course, Jimmy's came the last inning or so with a 9-2 lead. Not quite as dramatic when you're trailing by 2 and robbed them of a 2-run home run.
Abraham Nunez 2 for 3 tonight. The only Pirate batter with more than 1 hit. And a Steve Klein fastball misses away 2-0.
People are going to look at this line score and say, well, the Pirates played another good defensive game. No errors. And far from the truth. A couple of misplayed balls that no error on the play, but they should have been made.
There's a drive to the right side. Fernando is there. No, that's Stubby. Pardon me. Stubby clap for the second out. We don't want to rob him of any playing time. And a reminder, if the game ends right here to our local stations, we will send you right to your local programming. And for our St. Louis audience, that means WB11 News at 9. Jeff Bernthal and Melanie Moon standing by with Marquina Brown Weather and Dan Issa Sports.
We hope to get that final tally, but if we don't, we'll give it to you tomorrow. But we want to thank each and every one that made a bid, and everyone that made purchased a ticket for the barbecue tomorrow.
Right. John Wayne are the batter. They're in the top of the 9th at Houston. Astros did not score in the 8th. Cubs lead 5-3. So the Cardinals will probably stay 7 back, but they'll gain a game on Houston and be only 4 back of the Astros. Like Al said, win here. Somebody's got to lose in Houston. And then, of course, the Astros, after a day off Monday, will come here for 2 before the Cardinals go on to Chicago.
And I'm sure if anybody wanted to pick up a ticket and go to the barbecue tomorrow, that could be arranged tomorrow afternoon.
That it can. Ground ball to Stubby. Cardinals win in 2 hours and 38 minutes. Bud Smith the winner. He's 2-0. Craig Paquette, a great catch, 4 RBIs, a homer, a double. Edmonds was spectacular. Eli helped out with a big hit. And the Cardinals win it 9-2 for Al Raboski and Rich Gould. Bob Carpenter. And we hope you enjoyed it from our Bud Sports production crew tonight. Folks, we'll see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock. The Cardinals will go for the series win.